What's going on, everybody? This is some random spooky ghost here, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial I've been waiting long enough to do at this point. I am Jacob Harvey, and welcome to how to make a data disc. As for making a DVD, that'll be a story for another time. The first thing you'll be needing is, of course, a computer, and in case you're wondering, a phone may not be required unless you want to do filming for said data disc. The main things you'll be needing are, of course, a bunch of discs as you can see right here. For example, I got a 50 pack in case I want to do many copies of it. And another important thing you'll be needing is a DVD driver, so I got right here. I've been using this one for like nearly 2 years now, and yeah, it works pretty well. Apparently, if you're on either iMac or a Windows computer or even a Lenovo, there are 3 recommendations I suggest. If you're on a Windows or Lenovo computer, I actually recommend something like Sony Vegas for like the effects, transitions, and etc. Sure, it may take a real long time to render, but I'm sure it'll be worth it in the end. Another recommendation is Movie Maker because I used to have that back in like 2018 when I was making my first few data discs, and sometimes it's pretty easy, but you gotta wait one hell of a long time just for some clips to load up, especially if it's an hour and a half and stuff. My recommendation on the iMac, on the other hand, is iMovie. The clips load faster, it's easier to navigate with, you can even get these cool transitions, and it's even used especially for the data disc. And hi, hi Lillian, in that little thumbnail there. So without the way, to begin making a data disc, I highly recommend using a black screen to begin with. Not really to build tension or anything, but I still think it's a good start. Maybe to add a bit more clarity to it, I also recommend adding some sort of like a print date, if you know what I mean by this. In this case, I decided to use this one for like from like Keynote, and I'm just gonna make it green screens like so. Okay, so far it's turning out pretty good. Now, if you want to shorten it, I think it's best if we just do that, I think. As for using Keynote, I think I'll do a tutorial on that another day. So, we got a black background. The next thing you can add is either a warning screen or a company of your choice. But I think we'll do that in, well, I guess you'll find out. So without the way, I'm going to be skipping those two, and I'm going to begin by adding in the trailer for Gang Sketcher Happy Town movie, as you can see here. So at least you got a little something going on. And before I continue, hey Lillian, sorry I can't resist. So yeah, we basically got our trailer. Now the next part is rather optional. You can either add more trailers or maybe like a logo or something. But as for me, I think I'm just gonna immediately add in a movie, for example, like for example this one, which already has some of the opening to it, but I think I'm just gonna like attempt to trim it a little bit. In fact, I think that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna so many of the splitting I'm gonna be using. If you want the iMac, just push on Command and B like so, and then I'm just using the backspace to delete. And then I'm going to be going to this specific bit and doing the same. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so I think the movie's just about ready to be inserted now that I got something going on with it. Actually, in second boss, I think I'll just add in this, not the rental screen, because, you know, fan-made. So I'm just gonna also remove that and put it at the very beginning after the print data. You know what I mean. So, anyways, I think I'm just gonna attempt to find the movie and split the clip and add it there. Okay, how's that playing out? And now we are pleased to bring you. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. In fact, I think I might just split this clip and. Okay, so basically just cuts like straight to the movie. Now, so basically that's the opening finished. So the next thing you're about to do is just attempt to find the closing, and there we go. So like I said, this is already from a different copy in which I already have the traffic getting sketchy here among some other films, even the Jessica Sledgehammer Final Overload, but I think I'm just gonna trim that bit for now perhaps. And then instead of adding like any previews, I'm just gonna be adding in a black screen. And this is where the creativity comes in. So you can extend this out for like more than a few seconds, in which I'm just going to make it 12.20 seconds. And then I'm going to be doing the unthinkable. So yeah, like I said, the closing is actually really optional. But in this case, I think I'm just going to be adding the curtain backdrop. I'm just going to extend it a little bit. And yep, so I think I'm just gonna add this underneath and attempt to split it like, that's not really what I meant, but still okay. So I'm just gonna remove this and put that there. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys are randomly taking notes, and so yeah, you can basically have a little play around with the closing by adding in previews and whatnot. So I think I'm going to take a good look at how this one goes. Okay, so I think I'm going to try making it even rarer by making it 1 to 5 and shortening that a little bit. Okay, so I think we just about got our closing nearly enough. So, I was love to do a tutorial on Sony Vegas with this, but then again, I wouldn't be so sure. So, I think I'm just gonna attempt to rotate. I think I'm just gonna try rotating this to make it a bit more unique. Oh, you can only do it with this, I just realised. So yeah, we got our opening and also the closing to it. But don't worry, the better stuff's gonna get there soon. So yeah, let's take a look, shall we? So apparently this is ending from Marbles 1.5. So yep, here it is playing as follows, guys. Good enough, surprisingly. Oh, actually, to make it even better, I'm just gonna make it reverse. Yeah, that's good enough. So, yeah, looks like we got just about every single thing so far. So now that you're basically done with that specific bit, you can either name the project or leave it as it is. But I would recommend naming the project, but like, well, I'm sure you'll find out in just a second. However, I'm not going to be burning this file onto like the... Oh look, it's her again. Hey! Sorry, she's the bestest. So, we just need to wait for this to load up, and yep, you can either select it in either 540p, 720p, or 1080p, but I recommend 1080p, and I'm also thinking about lowering it to something like this and making the quality... No, actually that's a bit too high. I'm making it custom and making it like so. So I'm going to be naming this Marbles 1.5 DD test. And you can actually save it in one of your nearest folders, but I usually recommend my own personal Jacob Harvey folder because it is at least where you find everything else. So you might as well just click on save for now. And so yeah, that's basically how you make the data disk footage. But what about the data disk itself? Well, that's what I'm about to tell you guys. Especially now that the movie has been exported or rendered onto your computer screen, the next thing you do is go to your documents, or in iMac's case, Finder. Now this is where you can find something specific for the data disk. So let's just say we grab this random video right here, and I don't know why it's upside down. Yeah, so I had to show you that. So once you found the specific kind of file that you want to put on your data disk, speaking of which, I think I'm just going to use an example like this one. So all I just need to do is get my keyboard and oh, so as you can see it says that I can just burn it to disk. So I'm just gonna close the drive. And then my recommendation is to like wait for it to begin to spin properly, and as soon as that's over, we can just easily burn it. So basically, in the spare time is randomly burning. You can just like, perhaps chill or something. So in my case, to avoid wasting time on the demonstration purposes, let's just say I'm going to begin by burning a JH video. So I'm going to be naming this JH sign off or data disk test. And as you can see, you can choose the maximum possible speed in which I'm going for, and this is where it all begins. So you just need to click on burn and wait for the disk to begin burning. So yeah, so how's everybody's day going so far? Am I wasting your time at all? I hope I'm not, because this does take quite a while, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and perhaps skip this process. So here's a little side note sometimes. Apparently this little thing you both close and open can get a little jammed inside, but there's a solution to that. You can easily just take out both of these and then plug one of them back in again. And now, the ultimate moment of truth. Now, as far as I know, apparently I believe you can play a data disc on both your computer and on the PS3, but as for any television downstairs or any other console like an Xbox, as with that, I'm rather unsure. So for those who are wondering, it does take quite a while for the data disc to load up, but it depends on whether it's been burned or not. So as you can see, it actually worked. Oh my god, it's worked! Woo! So in this case, let's take a look at how this plays out. This is
Hey everybody, this is William, and this is my dog Molly. Hi!
Yeah, in case you're wondering, sometimes the disc actually does do that. It depends on whether it's scratched or not. In which case, I honestly do recommend getting, well, discs that aren't scratched, like a new pack for example. So yeah, that's basically how you make a data disc. If I wanted to tutorial on how to make a DVD, much like I did with like Marbles 2 or my DVD copy of Marbles 0, then I'll be doing a tutorial on that anytime soon, as well as some iMac related stuff coming soon to this channel. So I hope you guys have learned something today, and this is Jacob Harvey signing out. Peace out.